Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Today, the governor of Bayelsa State paid Governor Fubara a visit, and he went there with a delegation from Bayelsa State. And he calls it a Christmas visit. That is a kind of a payback because Fubara did that. But guess what? That's not really. A lot of things happen. But that's not the way we are going to right now. It's about some of the statements that Thru made today, which for most Nigerians and most Riverians, they believe that Fubara has goofed. Yeah, we don't take sides here. We try to, stand in the middle. We don't take sides. And we're going to be looking at it. And this whole thing revolves around the issue of Suko oil well. Suko oil well. Don't forget that one of the key words that Fubara love, making use of the fact that whatever legacy that had been transferred to you, uphold it, and you also transfer your legacy to the next generation. But shockingly, this particular case is different because the Suko oil well was fought and recovered by Wike, and he did that via the court. You're going to hear exactly what Thru had to say about it and also what the reactions of the people are. We're going to give you a little history about it after we listen to Governor Thru of Bayelsa State.
But more importantly today, I'd like to also put on record that since you came on board, between our two states, it has been very peaceful. Between our two states, we have had a whole lot of understanding, even in areas where we had some previous disagreements. And for me, that is very instructive. Very instructive. And I'd like to make a particular reference to the Suko oil wells that generated a whole lot of heat between our two states. For now, between us, we have agreed that let us go back to the status quo before whatever that happened. And so, in the same vein, at the point we had issues with River State because our property was being destroyed here, and most of our boys threatened to move by leg from Bayelsa to Port Harcourt and face the bullet. But I dissuaded everybody from doing that we cannot go violent, and rather we have to follow the law. And so we instituted a case against River State in the Supreme Court because matters between states actually go to the Supreme Court. And that case was on, but as he came on board, again, we have met and solutions are now being sought to that matter. So, Your Excellency, my dear brother, I think that the best way for us to live is actually to always look for solutions, particularly between brothers, neighbors, and friends. You cannot, as I said earlier, divorce these two states. There is so much in common between these two states in terms of our ethnicity, in terms of our culture, in terms of our social relationship, in terms of economic relationship. Up until today, you have a lot of Bayelsans that own their properties here in Port Harcourt and are still living in Port Harcourt here. In fact, Your Excellency, part of it today is that as we give you and having your permission, we're also going to grace the 80th birthday of one of our elders, retired Brigadier General Stanley Diriai, here in Port Harcourt. And so with your permission, a very kind permission, we will also go and grace that event.
All right, welcome back. My colleague is in the house and we're going to talk about this. But first of all, let me just give you an idea about this, Suko oil well. In precisely 2019, River State actually went to court after they had investigated via the National Boundary Commission that what was rightfully theirs was being taken over by Bayelsa, and all the revenues were being in by Bayelsa, I think far back 2002. So they went to court, Federal High Court in Abuja, and in the judgment that was delivered on December 16, 2019, the court ordered the return of the Suko oil well from Bayelsa State to its rightful owner, which is River State. And according to the judgment, the Federal High Court in Abuja, they ordered the National Boundary Commission to effect the transfer by rectifying the error in its 11th edition of the administrative map of Nigeria, which designated San Bartholomew River instead of River Santa Barbara as the boundary between the two states. Now, the judge said that the error, which was said to have surfaced in the 11th edition of the administrative map produced by the MBC in 2002, as 2002, negatively impacted the oil revenue accruable to Rivers State from the Federation account due to the loss of the Suko oil well. Bayelsa did not stop there. They went to court. They took the case to the Supreme Court, and in 2020 precisely, the court gave a verdict, and they struck out whatever they brought, and they said that Rivers State are truly the true owners of Suko oil well. It didn't go well with Rivers Bayelsa State, and there have been issues here and there, but for now the money has been coming in to Rivers State. But based on what Diri has said, therefore means that money, or the issue of, let's go back to the status quo, it means that Suko oil well has been returned, back to,
will be returned.
Or maybe will be, but he said it has already been concluded, So it means that, so that peace will be sustained, we should go back to the status quo, which is, it should be returned back to Rivers, so back to Bayelsa State. And it didn't go well with so many Riverians and my colleagues in the house. What's the standpoint on this? Do you think this is a wrong decision on the part of Fubara, or do you think that possibly there had been a split somewhere just to make sure that peace is sustained, or is a way of earning his political trust or something?
Much as I would always commend Fubara for his peaceful stance, but I believe that there are some certain things you must do. It's not every time that you must be at the good books of everyone. This is politics, and all politicians, they have one thing in common: permanent interest. I think how Fubara is playing his politics now is no more playing politics now. It's actually playing brotherliness, and it will cost him a lot. Now, Diri has been watching on the sideline for a while, and now he's coming now with a request. But there's always this statement that Fubara used to make: Rivers first, Rivers things for Rivers people first, and Rivers resources for Rivers people. Wike, whatever you want to call Wike, he may not be your best of guy, but give it to him. He can be aggressive when he wants to be, and he aggressively won this. It reminds me of Egbeda in Imo State. They had same oil situation. I think it's that particular area is very rich in Imo State. Wike, during the reign and time of Emeka Ihedioha was then the governor of Rivers, Imo State. Wike looked him in the face and said, I don't care if this will spoil our relationship, let it be. But you see this Egbeda's oil, that particular boundary belongs to Rivers. Imo State lost it to Rivers. Same thing, that same process, that same period was what happened in Bayelsa State. They got to the level of Supreme Court. Why would Diri, suspecting the fact that Fubara is in their need of what we call allegiances? If you watch, the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, endorsed him. The wife, Patience, they endorsed him. So he's literally looking for endorsement. Honestly, you don't really need endorsement from outside. That which have been given to you, sustain it. Look, you may look like nothing until when the chunk of revenue moves. When that thing happened to Imo State people, a whole lot of money was lost. But you know how aggressive Wike was. Wike, that thing increased the revenue of Rivers State. They were getting that place. And to think that, there's something Fubara said just fairly recently, that this whole thing is a shift job. When they hand over the baton to you, hand it over to the next person. If they have been able to successfully gotten a huge sum of resources for Rivers people, don't lose it in the name of trying to get allegiances and for peace. The question is, if it were Diri, would Diri sue for peace in the name of trying to get regional peace? Okay, a South Bras as the South state, they should, because of oil well that is in your state, let it go so that peace will reign. Even Diri will never have allowed. They will tell you, no, my brother, don't go there. No, this politics does not come. This is not my thing. No, it's my people's thing.
Yeah, because I also remember that even Diri, when he was talking about it, he said that it was actually Fubara that played the greater role, and that the attorneys have already done meeting and all of that. I don't know why that should happen, but however, I think that is for him to answer. That's I'm talking about the person of Fubara to answer. But considering this move, do you think that the people, or do you think that this may take away some political points from Fubara, or do you think that he's doing this for the meantime? Maybe later on they'll go back to the Supreme Court judgment, because the Supreme Court has already spelled it out.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't make any reasonable sense.
Diri said for now. So I believe maybe in the nearest future, maybe when a new governor comes on board, he will say, let's go back to the status quo, which means return back my thing to me. I don't know. I don't even know.
But you shouldn't be using state resources to play brother relationship.
He said we are sister state. We are like your senior brother. Diri even also say, man, we are your senior. You're our senior brother. So, and you have money more than us.
If you want to borrow the state, borrow and put more interest, but don't cede what is belonging to the state to another, because what he's doing right now, he may not know the consequences until the next government comes in. And if the next government that will come into Bayelsa State is as aggressive as Wike, they will not have it. And unfortunately, if they, whatever way he wants to look at, because this whole matter has been settled to Supreme Court, what else do you want?
I think this was the same thing that happened some few years ago also during the time and administration of Governor Donald Duke in Cross River State, when what was rightfully ours, that's that of South, that's Cross River State, according to the information then. I think they had a case in court with Cameroon, and after a while, that part of a particular local government there, close to, I think, Bakassi, I think so, Bakassi Peninsula. Yeah. It was handed over to Cameroon for some reasons, because it had been under that of Cross River State. And that was even the reason why Cross River State was listed as one of the oil revenue states. Because of that, it was being delisted. So, I don't know. But however, let's see how it will be sorted out, because I believe that this must have been done with due consultation. I'm talking about Fubara. He must have consulted with the elders and also with his executives.
Let's just hope he knows what he's doing, because that's a chunk money about to leave.
Exactly. That's where we like to leave it. Let's meet in our comment section and talk more on this. What's the standpoint on these